राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा जमसुंदरा जमसुंदरा जय राधा जमसुंदरा जमसुंदरा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद गो प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल देव विश्वपाद परमहंस परिव्राज का जरा अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद श्री भक्त वेदांत संस्कृत की जय। देवो विष्णुपाद परमहंस विराज का जरा अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नवाचार्य रदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगमय यमुनामयी की जय। मुक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। पिता गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल। Allorishwara Simmulivodi Hare Krishna. Allorishwara Simmulivodi Hare Krishna. Allorishwara Simmulivodi Hare Krishna. Allorishwara Simmulivodi Hare Krishna. Allor Shri Guru and Gauranga. Gopal Jai. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnaye Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidram Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gaurvani Pracharana Vishesha Sunyavadi Panchant Sedestarana. Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritanam Jeva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayan Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Irbhavati Hari Om Tat. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 10, Opulence of the Absolute, verse number 34. मृत्यु सर्वहरश्चाहम् उद्भवश्च भविष्यताम् कीर्ति श्रीर्वाक् च नारीणाम् स्मृतिर्मेधा धृति क्षमा मृत्यु सर्वहरश्चाहम् उद्भवश्च भविष्यताम् कीर्ति श्रीर्वाक् च नारीणाम् स्मृतिर्मेधा धृति क्षमा मृत्यु सर्वहरश्चाहम् उद्भवश्च भविष्यताम् कीर्ति श्रीर्वाक् च नारीणाम् स्मृतिर्मेधा धृति क्षमा मृत्यु death sarvahara all devouring cha also aham I am udbhava generation cha also bhavishyatam a future manifestation kirti fame sri opulence of beauty walk fine speech cha also narinam of women smriti memory meda intelligence dhruti firmness kshama patience. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. I am all devouring death and I am generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Repeat. I am all devouring death and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Purport by Sri Prabhupada. As soon as man is born, he dies at every moment. Thus, death is devouring every living entity at every moment. But the last stroke is called death itself. The death is Krishna. As for future development, all living entities undergo 6 basic changes. They are born, they grow, they remain for some time, they reproduce. They dwindle and finally they vanish. Of these changes, the first is deliverance from the womb, and that is Krishna. The first generation is the beginning of all future activities. Several opulences listed fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience are considered feminine. If a person possesses all of them or some of them, he becomes glorious. If a man is famous as a righteous man, that makes him glorious. Sanskrit is a perfect language and is therefore very glorious. If after studying one can remember a subject matter, he is gifted with a good memory or smriti, and the ability not only to read many books on different subjects but to understand them and apply them when necessary is intelligence, meda. Another opulence. The ability to overcome unsteadiness is called firmness or steadfastness, dhriti. And when one is fully qualified at, is humble and gentle, and when one is able to keep his balance both in sorrow and in ecstasy of joy, he has the opulence called patience, kshama. We'll try to understand that verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanaslavakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Sri Gurum Denataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Shri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Manda ki jai. Thank you very much for joining. So, here we are in the 10th chapter. Lord Krishna is describing one after another various representations, especially the opulence of the Absolute. As in this chapter, we are seeing many sections, the last biggest section, so and it has many details. So that's why we have to cover one verse at a time. So in this verse, interestingly, all of these subjects are tied together. Mrityu's death, Krishna is talking about, and also the next aspect, creation. And Prabhupada is talking, as soon as the living entity is born, his death is sure. Jatasya dhruvo dhrutam janma mrutasya ja. As soon as one is born, he is sure to die. Or vasamsi jarnani navani granadi naroparani yata sarirani vihayase sarirani navani granadi naroparani. So when wears when the garments are old, when it gives up and we are wearing a new garment like that, we are changing the body constantly. The cells are changing. We are getting the new cells. Same way, we'll at the end we'll give up the old body and take the new body, either spiritual body or material body, depending on what activities. This is in the chapter 2 beginning itself. Lord Krishna is stressing the point about Arjuna's duty. When you have prescribed duties in front of you, you should perform. So that's why here in this verse, Krishna is combining that generation, Udbhava, creation, when the living entity is born, just like Lord Brahma is born. We are called separated part and parcels. In one of the verses, Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna is mentioning that. Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport that Lord Brahma is born from the navel. So that is the separated parts. When the baby is born, the navel is cut. That is attachment is there. They will cut after some time. So then that is called a separated part. So same way Lord Brahma is born from the navel of Garbhodakasaya Vishnu. So that creation, that generation from is coming from Aham Bija Pradapata. I am the seed giving father. It is coming from Lord. So as soon as living entity is born, so death is sure. In that way, it is both are connected. And further, these opulences, as long as one is executing devotion service, is practicing, and accordingly the final exam where he will be tested. However great Napoleon, Hitler, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, big stalwart demons who has asked, who thought they are immortal, nothing can take away them, no one can conquer them. So they thought even the demigods were afraid of them, but they're all been taken away. So there's a four conditions: Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam. These four conditions are always there. That's it's very difficult to cross over. So, but one who is executing devotion service on the other side, one who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna in the association of devotees, especially bona fide spiritual master, representative of the Lord, one who takes his shelter, then he has been protected. And we'll see the examples from Parikshit Maharaj, we'll see the examples of Mother Uttara, we'll see the examples of Arjuna, so we'll see the examples of the Vrindavan Vasis, we'll see the examples of King Kulashekara, so prayers. We'll see the examples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the case of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's brother-in-law, Amoga. So all these examples, how one should take shelter of the Lord and Lord's holy name, Lord's devotees, especially Lord's representative devotees, spiritual masters and sadhus, and the hearing process, how important it is through various pastimes. We can understand how we can actually overcome the suffering, birth, death, old age, and disease. Samsara dava nalanida loka tranaya karunya gana ganatam. Samsara dava, that is what it is. The ocean of suffering, material suffering, birth, death, old age, disease, these four things are called samsara dava. By the mercy of the transcendental mercy of the spiritual master, one can be one can mitigate these miseries and attain the spiritual body. Even within this world itself, also in some cases, like Pandavas attain spiritual body in this world. While being in this world, they attain spiritual body. Even there's a king Nimi, King Nimi has attained also spiritual body. So he wanted to go back. He didn't want to stay here in this material world when he attained, but demigods wanted him to be present here. This is in the, I think, 11th canto or so. It is explained. So demigods prayed to the Lord and the sadhus, exalted from Mahajanas, to keep the Maharaj Nimi's body for the further instructions and further purposes. So that we see some of the cases like that. So then let's go through one by one. From first, look at the example of Uttara. When Ashwadhama, we all know that, but let's look at beautiful verse. Uttara is praying. One must take shelter, one must follow, one must use these prayers to actually take protection from Lord Krishna and his representative. पाहि पाहि महायोगी देव देवा जगत्पते नान्यं त्वत् अभयं पश्ये यत्र मृत्यो परस्परम्. Uttara is speaking. O Lord of the Lords, Pahi Pahi Mahayogi. This is Lord Krishna. When Ashwadhama released Brahmastra, Ashwadhama has done nefarious activities. You have no clue. That's why it is not that just by being a Brahmana, by being a son of a Brahmana, or by learning so many arts and things, that is not the actually, that is not the qualification we need to have. We need to have the qualification to be guided under the bona fide spirit. If not, and we will see Swadhama 1, 2, 3 times, big blunders. Even Duryodhana was very much, he was shocked to see the Ashwadhama's activities. That's so much heinous act. So before this happened, Ashwadhama went, and by the time almost Duryodhana was lying, his broken, spine broken, and he's lying, he's about to die. At that time, Ashwadhama couldn't tolerate, so envious, so jealous, he couldn't tolerate. How could they win? Then he went and to Draupadi, where the Pandavas had Draupadi, and his sons, 5 sons were sleeping, and they went and killed them, beheaded them. He thought they are Pandavas. You can see how much foolish. He didn't even have the intelligence. Duryodhana had better intelligence than him. Duryodhana chastised him. How could you think? Then he took that. So he brought these heads also. Killed them and brought the heads, and then he took that head and teared it. No, this is not Pandavas' heads. These are not Pandavas. What have you done? It means basically you want to. If we cannot win, nobody should have it. It's like this is a jealous and envious mentality. Nobody should have it. So that's why he wanted to kill all. No one, no Parikshit Maharaj, no sons, no grandsons. So that nobody should rule. That is the mission of Ashwadhama. This is a very, very crooked, cruel, and what do you call that mentality? What do you call not simple, crooked minded. This is as a detrimental to devotion service, practice of devotion service. Ashwatthama, this is what he did. 5 sons killed when they were sleeping, not even awake when they were sleeping, and the small kids. And that's what he did. And not only stopped right there. When the Arjuna and Draupadi was aware of this fact, immediately Arjuna got on chariot ready to go and catch him and almost like kill him, ready to attack him. Then, because of fear of his death, then Ashwadhama took Brahmastra and he released it against Arjuna at that point, and that's when this instance is happening. Pahi Vahi Mahayogi Deva Deva Jagatpate. Lord Krishna is the only Jagatpati, he is the universal master, he is the supreme Lord, supreme master. Anada. So Deva Deva Jagatpate, Nanyam Tvam Abhayam Pasye. Who can give protection? No one in this world can give protection other than you. Na Anyam Tvam. Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. Who can control? No one can save from death. Even in front of Lord Shiva, Banasur, Narakasur, no one can save. When Lord Krishna decides to kill, no one can stop that. But only when the pure devotee representative takes charge, then Lord Krishna immediately, like Mayadanava, when Arjuna, Mayadana took shelter of Arjuna, immediately Lord Krishna didn't say anything. Otherwise, Lord Krishna was ready to kill him. So, like that, we see that when they take shelter of devotee, then immediately Lord saves that particular devotee, particular person. So here, Mother Uttara is praying. Lord is the only shelter of fearlessness for the surrendered soul. One cannot save himself from the cruel hands of death in material world without having surrendered himself at the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is we are learning from Mother Uttara. So is praying sincerely. This is how one must take. So this comes by practice. That's it. In general, everybody is busy after working complex lives. No time for Krishna. If you ask them to read, no time for Krishna, no time for reading, no time for chanting, no time for coming to temple, no time for service. We are busy, Prabhu. We have no time. So this is what is going on. And those who are devotees itself, and forget if they are not even devotees, then imagine what is the situation outside world. It's even worse, more and more complex. Parikshit Maharaj has been instructed to Sukadeva Goswami as soon as he's been told that is about today 7 days. Sukadeva Goswami, first thing he told, Apasyatam Atmatatmam Gruheshu Gruhamedram Devapatra Kalatradi Atma Sayanes Vasatsavi Tesham Pramatto Nedram Pasyan Apina Pasyati. Everybody is working so hard. They are not able to see. Deha apatya kalatradishu. Is seeing only his body, extended body, his family members, his wealth, and his extended family. He is only seeing that, and he is working so hard. Deha apatya kalatradishu. Atma senes. He thought, he is thinking just like Gajendra thought he will save himself, he will be able to protect himself. Whether his family or extended family or the doctors will save him. That's what people will think. Atma Sainesu, his own soldiers are extended soldiers, extended family. Asatsu api. But they are all fallible. No one is infallible. No one can save. But that is the idea, illusion we have. Asatsu tesham pramatta nidram. And we are working very, generating and continue on complex lives without understanding the intricacies of how this material world works, how the actions and reactions takes place. And then what kind of body we receive and how miserable we are condition we're going through, we have gone through previously, and this life we're going through, and still we're not learning lesson. And we want to continue the same way for next life also. The first instruction, he's not even going deep, immediate instruction. Parikshit Sukadeva Goswami is giving that. Devapatra Kalatradis Atma Saineswasam Tesham Pramatto Nidam Pasyanapin Apasyati. They are not seeing, just like Dhritarashtra also same aspect. Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, they are not able to foresee what is the priority, what is the ultimate goal of life. Even Lord Krishna is personally there. So that's why we'll see further instructions. How one should practice devotion service. Not whatever we like, how it should be practiced. It is clearly mentioned in further verses in these examples. So in this example, we see that Mother Uttara has taken shelter because of the practice. Pandavas all have practiced their whole life, always under the guidance, never deviated at whatever difficulty comes. They never deviated from the righteous path, always protected, always guided by the devotees of the Lord. So because of that, immediately Lord is right there to protect to all the Pandavas, any family members. So now this is the Mother Uttara's example. Now not only he didn't stop right there, and further in the case of further Ashwadhama, when it released, when then Lord Krishna protected basically Mother Uttara when it was released. Then he told Arjuna, then he protected, Lord Krishna protected. Rather, he instructed also Arjuna, and we'll see that Arjuna. So verses, the two times happened. First time he released the arrow, Brahmastra, to go against Arjuna. He was releasing arrow against Arjuna, and the other time is the Uttara, when he about to kill the womb, Parikshit Maharaj in the womb. But in this case, first time is Arjuna actually. He is ready to kill Arjuna because Arjuna is the one who's going to ready to kill him because he was killed the five sleeping sons. So the first one is that actually. So Arjuna was Krishna Krishna Mahavaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvam Eko Dahyamananam Apavargo Asi Samsmrute. Samsmrute means this Samyak Srute, this Samsmriti, it is a ocean of this birth, death, old age, this is Samsmriti, Samsara, that some, when it is complete, the whole package from birth to death, so that miseries, threefold miseries. So that's what Arjuna is praying. Arjuna has capacity, but you can understand he is immediately taking shelter because he everywhere, when Brahmastra released everything, he can't even see anything. What's going on? There is no time. There is no time to even to react. What exactly is causing? How come everything is black and smoke and you can't even see what is happening? So immediately you would understand it's a danger is coming. Then immediately he took shelter. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara. Some Eko. See, one point attention you'll see in these prayers, previous prayer also, here also. They didn't go over this personality, that personality, even within the Lord also, only Krishna. Specifically, only Krishna they are calling out. Tvam Eko, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho, even explicitly, Arjuna especially. Tvam Eko Dahyamananam, Apavargo Asi, Apavarga means this birth, death, old age, disease, Sansprute. Oh my Lord, Sri Krishna, you are the almighty personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only. So then Lord Krishna immediately, and he prayed, then Lord Krishna immediately instructed him. This is because of Brahmastra released by Aswadhama to save himself. And he doesn't know how to retract. He only knows how to release. He doesn't know how to take it back. So now what you do, you release another Brahmastra and then you take it back. So he released Brahmastra to counteract, then at a huge fire, both collided and it neutralized, and then but the huge fire is there so much, it is like almost at the time of full complete annihilation of the whole Brahmanda, it creates so much energy to fire is going to annihilate the whole thing. So then immediately Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna to take the whole thing back. He used the mantras to retract both Brahmastras, contracting and then taking back. That Arjuna see the Lord Krishna's instruction. So when one takes, because when we are in the danger, it's very difficult to remember anything. Forget about prayers, we can't remember much. Maybe we may remember just one prayer and then that's about it. It's very difficult because the whole body will be in completely in different state. We can't remember much. That's how, unless we practice sincerely, then Lord Krishna make us remember, spiritual master make us remember at that point of danger, because that's what the practice helps us to do. So that's the practice is very important. We can't, even one day we can't give up this practice. Otherwise, it's very difficult. At the time of final exam, we will be in a helpless situation. But by following these examples of Arjuna and Uttara, we can see then that way was contracted. This danger was contracted because of Lord Krishna. By taking shelter of Lord Krishna by these prayers, and immediately Lord Krishna protected. And so now in the case of the fire, so when there was a various demons appeared in Vrindavan. So one of them is a fire demon. So fire started attacking. It was about almost like dark in the night. All the Vrindavan Vasis were sleeping. So suddenly they saw that almost fire is approaching. They have no way to escape even. That's how much close. And many times these things are happening in Kali Yuga, especially lately after this COVID. So many things are happening like these. It's dangerous situations somehow or the other. And because more Kali Yuga goes further, that's how it is. Situations are like that. So where then Vrindavan Vasis are praying. सुदुस्तरान् न स्वापाहि कालाग्ने सुहृद प्रभो न सौक्ष्मस्त्वच्चरणं Samtyaktyam akuto bhayam. O Lord, we are your true friends and devotees. Please protect us from this insurmountable fire of death. We can never give up your lotus feet, which drive away all fear. They know that they don't know that he is the Supreme Lord, but they know that only Krishna can save. Krishna can save them. They have fully taken shelter. One point attention again in this case also. The residents of Vrindavana told Krishna, if this deadly fire overcomes us, we will be separated from your lotus feet. See that. They are not thinking about, they are thinking always in relation with Krishna. Immediately, we will be separated from you. So that we don't want. And this is unbearable for us. Therefore, just so that we can go on serving your lotus feet, please protect us. This is the prayers we see in Sixastakam Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yugayitam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravrusha Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Viraherami Aslishavam Padaratam Pinastu Mam Marmahatam Karotuva Yata Tata Vatulam Pado Mat Prananadastu Sayeva Naparaha. They are thinking moments, even a fraction of moment is 12 years or more. Even if you break me a heart, trample me down, I'm always yours. I'm always yours. They're always so much deeply attached to Lord Krishna. So they cannot tolerate separation. But they don't want to take anyone else shelter, not even Lord Narayana. So much attached to Shyam Sundara, Krishna. Now the Parikshit Maharaj case, in the case of Parikshit Maharaj, how much? See the situation. One who practices from Parikshit Maharaj, as I mentioned. So first Brahmastra, first Ashwadhama killed like that sleeping sons, and then he released Brahmastra to save himself when Arjuna was ready to attack him. And then second time, everything was over. Then Lord is ready to sit on chariot, leave the Pandavas. It's already 2 months or 3 months. The war was over, everything done. So he's ready to leave. Lord Krishna is ready to. That time, Ashwadhama releases. Now, this is after. He's already been, when he was caught after Brahmastra, this was brought back, retracted. Then Arjuna went and caught hold of Ashwadhama. Then, as per the instruction, there was argument, there was judgment, what's supposed to be done. Krishna instructed one way, and other Pandavas, so many back and forth are there. Then finally, Arjuna, understanding Lord Krishna's mind, then he saved. He didn't kill because Draupadi also was compassionate, so he didn't kill. Rather, he shaved the head of Ashwadhama. He removed the pearl or jewel on the head of Ashwadhama, basically to completely become so, made him so full. So he will be disgusted because he cannot tolerate that. So it's almost like death. So that's how they made him, and then he left Ashwadhama without killing him. Still, he didn't learn lesson. He's so angry, so jealous. That fire, that's why that proclivity, one who has this kind of envious attitude, Kurpana, miserly weakness, and always crooked mentality, Kutinati, fault finding, cripple minded mentality, it doesn't go away so easily unless we take right shelter of the right devotees, we take the right association of devotees. Very difficult to take that out from our hearts. Very difficult. Very difficult. So that's what is happening. Ashwadhama, despite he didn't even learn lesson, then again he started attacking with Brahmastra to kill even womb of Mother Uttara, last hair of Pandavas, Parikshit Maharaj. So then Mother Uttara prayed. So that's when Lord Krishna again protected in the womb. So now you'll see that is the first instance. Parikshit Maharaj now he's been he was protected. From that time onwards, he was completely attached to Lord Krishna. He was looking for that where that Krishna is, who protected me when I was in the womb. He remembered. Even he was not ready to come for breakfast. He was playing with Krishna dolls. He was so much attached to Lord Krishna. Now we'll see Parikshit Maharaj's pastime when he was cursed by Brahmana boy Sringi, when he put a dead snake on there. There, the very important instructions are there. न उत्तम श्लोक वार्तानां जुषतां तत् कथामृतं स्यात् संभ्रमो अंतकालेपि स्मरतां तत् पदाम्बुजम्. न उत्तम श्लोक वार्तानां, if one doesn't take shelter of hearing uttama shloka, means who is uttama shloka? Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. One who doesn't hear the glories. This was so because those who have dedicated their lives to the transcendental topics of personality of Godhead of whom the Vedic hymns sing and who are constantly engaged in remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, do not run the risk of having misconception even at the last moment of their lives. Parikshit Maharaj could remember. Even that was the first case. This is now the Takshaka bird is about to kill because that is Sringi's curse. You're going to die in 7 days. Takshaka bird, snake bird is going to come and kill you. So at the dangerous death, but still he was not afraid at all because he has practiced, he heard there, Prabhupada's important purport. The highest perfection of life is attained by remembering the transcendental nature of the Lord at the last moment of one's life. This perfection of life is made possible by one who has learned the actual transcendental nature of the Lord from the Vedic hymns sung by a liberated soul like Sukadeva Goswami or someone in that line of disciplic succession. There is no gain in hearing Vedic hymns from some mental speculator. When the same is heard from an actual self-realized soul and is properly understood by service and submission, everything becomes transparently clear. You understand that? But we say that we don't have time to hear. Even if we hear, we want to hear from so-called popular singers and popular this, popular that. That's not how we learn the absolute truth. It has to be only learned from the association of the devotees who are deeply immersed and absorbed in, day out in the service of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and their representatives only. Any other thing, it's going to be extremely difficult. There is no way we can transform. There is no way we can transform. They themselves cannot transform, and those who are hearing and practicing in their taking their association, they cannot be transformed. It is not possible. So that's why here Prabhupada is making that point. Thus, a submissive disciple. So here the previous line is clear. Properly understood by service. Service must be done regularly, and submission must be there. These things are very important. Rupa Goswami is again and again mentioned in the Nectar Devotion that Vishramba Sevanam, Sadhu Marganu Gamanam, Saddharma Prucha. You must ask question with humble and meek and humbleness, but before that you must serve. Vishramba Sevanam. That's a understanding the spiritual master position, understanding the Guru Tattva is not at all easy. It is simple, at the same time it is very difficult and complex. Unless we are really praying and meditating and doing service and submission is there day in, day out, then hopefully we will be able to understand the actual position of a guru and tattva, guru tattva. So his position, how we should serve, how we should meditate, how we should pray, how we offer everything to guru, we can understand. Anybody can receive the mercy of guru, spiritual master. No external qualification is required. It is not by external qualification. However great we may be in different services, that is not the way we can receive mercy. Only the utter dependence, how much we want to surrender and offer, do something. Like when, what is the name? When Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni went in, that is the last Krishna's question. What have you done? You are yogi, but what have you done for me? First, we have to do something for Guru. We have to do something for Guru. He doesn't need anything. Guru doesn't need, Lord Krishna doesn't need anything from us. But it is our mood, our consciousness. It is for our own purification. We have to do something to purify ourselves, to serve Srila Prabhupada. If you don't have that service attitude and submission, no question. It is not entering into the hearts. The hearing is not effective. Transformation won't be there. So that's why it is very, very much required, service and submission. Everything becomes transparently clear, then we understand. Otherwise, it will stay still hazy. We don't know. We think we know, but we really don't know. There is no transformation. So that's why we can understand how much we are thinking of Krishna when we are not just when we are chanting, when we are eating, when we are sleeping, when we are at work. How much time we are remembering, that tells us how much deep we are, how much we are absorbed in the Guru. That tells us, that indicates us how much we have to more and more focus and improve. It is not enough. What we are doing is not enough at all. So we should not be thinking that I am doing a lot. So that is in the Fool's Dictionary. We have a lot to do. We have a lot to do. We don't have that right consciousness. So Thus, a submissive disciple is able to live transcendentally and continue to the end of life by scientific adoption. One is able to remember the Lord even at the end of life. When the power of remembrance is slackened due to dearrangement of bodily membranes, for a common man, it is very difficult to remember things as they are at the time of death. But by the grace of the Lord and his bona fide devotees, the spiritual masters, one can get this opportunity without difficulty. That's why I said it is very easy. For a devotee, it is very easy. But if he is not a devotee, means one who is submissive and surrendered, sincere, service and submission, as Prabhupada is making that. For him, it is very easy. He can think. Even if he forgets by chance, Lord Krishna and the spiritual master will make sure that he will remember, that they will take the job. Otherwise, it's extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. So that's why it requires a lot of soul searching inside the heart. So what we are doing for Guru. So what we are doing for Acharya Parampara, so Prabhupada. And it was, Prabhupada further, it was done in the case of Maharaj Parikshit. This is what Sota Goswami is narrating. Due to the mercy of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, though struck by the weapon of son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burned. This is because all devotees, that's why they protected first time. And then furthermore, Maharaj Parikshit was always consciously surrendered to the personality of Godhead. Therefore, he was neither afraid nor overwhelmed by fear due to the snake bird, which was to bite him because of the fury of a Brahmana boy. So you can understand. Furthermore, after leaving all his associates, the king surrendered himself as a disciple to the son of Vyasa, Sukadeva Goswami. He didn't thought, I am been practicing from childhood. I can easily remember. No, rather he took shelter. This shows that how much he is submissive. Submissive devotee never leaves the shelter of a guru, spiritual master. Never, never. Not a single day. His day never goes by without thinking, without taking. He's always praying. He's always praying. That is the submissive disciples' attitude and consciousness. So that's what we have to learn from Parikshit Maharaj. Thus, he was able to understand the actual position of the personality of Godhead and at last gave up his material body on the bank of Ganga. Therefore, unless one thoroughly understands the superior or eternal energy of the Lord, it is not possible to leave the material energy. However, one may theoretically speculate on the true nature of the absolute truth. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Maharaj Parikshit was able to receive the mercy of such a personality as Sukadeva Goswami. Lord arranged. Otherwise, Sukadeva Goswami is not even in the picture. No one can see him. That's how Sukadeva Goswami was. But immediately Lord arranged. But Dhruva Maharaj also like that. Dhruva Maharaj walking is to such a good forest. Dhruva Maharaj, Narad Muni appeared right there. So this is the Paramatma is seeing what is there in our heart. Accordingly, Lord arranges. If we have the crookedness, if we have all kinds of, we have, externally something, internally something else, we have so many other things, we don't want Guru and Krishna, we have so many other things. Then Lord also gives, okay, all right, go do this, that. He can't come to the picture of Krishna consciousness. It's not possible. Lot of soul searching has to be done. Lot of priorities has to be moved. You have to adjust. If there is no adjustment in your life, then this life will go on. Another life will come. Guaranteed. Yata yoni, deha yogena dehinam. Yata yoni yata bijam. According to your desires and your surrender, your consciousness, accordingly, Daivi Prakriti, material nature will give the body. And that's why we have to be very careful. It is very difficult to find Lord from the Vedic literature, but it is very easy to know how? By the mercy of a liberated devotee like Sukadeva Goswami. You see? Such an exalted personality of Parikshit Maharaj appearing in the Pandava family. But still, what did you do? Take shelter of a pure devotee. Without that, there is no other way. There is no way. We think we can, but there is no other way. Guru Kripa Kevalam. Sri Guru Charana Padma. Kevala Bhakti Sadham. They didn't put, Kevala is their word. Means only. So there is no other way about it. And that's what we have to learn further. This is the example now. Now Kunti Maharani is also giving a beautiful example in our prayers. Sundvanti gayanti grananti abhikshanasaha smaranti nandanti tavehitam jana tayeva paschanti acharena tavakam bhava pravaha uparamam padam bhujam Beautiful prayer. I have mentioned in many classes before, but again, because this is the point it is bringing, what one must do, what practice he has to do, is given completely, and how one can see the Supreme Lord is directly mentioned by Kunti Marani. Tayeva Pasyant Achirena, very quickly, one can see the Supreme Lord face to face. How? Srunvanti Gayanti Grunanti Abhikshnasaha. Constantly, Abhikshnasaha. Constantly, what one should do? Srunvanti. One must hear. How one should hear? In the association of devotees, those who have dedicated their life and soul for Guru and Krishna. In that association, we have to hear. We will see in the purport. Srunvanti Gayanti. One must chant and hear. Hear and chant. The glory. Gayanti means sing. Chant and hear. And hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and glorify. Self reading has to be there. Also, we have to be in the association. We have to hear. Srunvanti Gayanti Grunanti. One who takes to these process. What else? Abhikshna constantly. Smaranti, Nandanti, Tavehitam Jana. Jana is along association of devotees. Tavehitam, activities. Tava, by sadhakas. Smaranti, one must remember. One must remember the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. And Nandanti, and take pleasure. Nandanti means take pleasure. We have to do with pleasure. It's not mechanical. This chanting, hearing, any process we take, it has to be done with a great pleasure, with very great happiness. It's not that, oh, why did Prabhupada give this process? Why did he make these 16 rounds of chanting? It's so difficult. So I should sleep. This mentality, then we can never improve. We can never attain Krishna in this kind of consciousness. We really have to take, we have to have that, enthusiasm that I must do something. I must attain Krishna in this life. I must. There is no option. That kind of firm conviction should be there. Fixed determination should be there. Otherwise, it's not easy. It is not easy. It takes many lifetimes. It is not simply we do whatever we like. It cannot happen. Now, Tayeva Masyanti Acharayana Tavakam, if you do in that way, in the association of devotees, then we can see quickly. Not only you can see, but Bhava Pravaha Uparamam. This Bhava Pravaha means this birth, death, old age, this suffering continue. That whole cycle of birth, death, old age, disease will be stopped. Uparamam by taking shelter of Lord Krishna. Padambujam. Purport. Translation. O Krishna, those who constantly hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. Their important purport. Therefore, even though the Lord may be present before our eyes, it is not possible to see him unless we have the necessary vision. This necessary qualification is developed by the process of devotional service only, beginning with hearing about the Lord from the right sources. Here is the point. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the popular literature which are generally heard, chanted, repeated, etc. by the people in general. But in spite of such hearing, etc., sometimes it is experienced that the performer of such devotional service does not see the Lord face to face. Why? The reason is that the first item, Sravana, is very important. If the hearing is from the right sources, it acts very quickly. Generally, people hear from unauthorized persons. Such unauthorized persons may be very learned by academic qualification. But because they do not follow the principles of devotion service, hearing from them becomes a sheer waste of time. Sometimes the texts are interpreted fashionably to suit their own purposes. Therefore, first one should select a competent and bona fide speaker and then hear from him. When the hearing process is perfect and complete, the other process become automatically perfect in their way. You can see how much stress is given to hearing, but we have no taste for hearing. So that's why we have to take. If the hearing is not good, when Sravana is not there, no Smarana is going to happen. And that's why we can see our progress, how much we are remembering in the rest of the day. And not when we are at the temple, not when we are chanting. Rest of the day, how much we are remembering. Then we know what kind of Sravana we are doing. We have to constantly, more and more, we have to cry, we have to pray, we have to serve better, we have to chant better. So we have to take shelter of the Lord and Guru and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Tulsi Maharani. So then gradually we may come to this process. Otherwise, No, no, it's not easy. Sravanam is very, very important. When the hearing process is complete, perfect, then other process become automatically perfect in their own way. There are different transcendental activities of the Lord. Each and every one of them is competent. See that point again. Prabhupada is making clear so that we don't have ambiguity. There are different transcendental activities of the Lord, and each and every one of them is competent to bestow the desired result, provided the hearing process is perfect. Again, the hearing is given. While chanting, we should hear clearly, crystal clearly, pronounce each and every syllable of the mantra. When we are hearing the transcendental literature, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have to hear with rapt attention, with absorption. We should make notes. If we are not able to remember, we go on as it is. We hear the classes, we don't do anything in our change in our lifestyle or activities. Then we have to make a note. We have to be reminded. We put it on a board or we put in a cell phone, wherever. We have to make the change in our life. We cannot just go on simply same thing. We continue to sleep, continue to not do service, continue to be bindas, aram se. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. This is not a going to our office. Yes, in office nobody knows what's going on, what we are doing. You might be finishing a work, but nobody knows what you're doing. But the Supreme Lord knows. Here, you can't cheat the Guru and the Supreme Lord. In transcendental science, there is no way you can cheat. Don't think that Guru is not there, the Lord is not in front of you, then we can do whatever we like. Everything is recorded. Karmana Daiva Netriyam. So that's why we have to really desire the this that I want Krishna. I want Guru's mercy. Then I must do something to get that mercy. Act in such a way that Guru and Krishna wants to see you. Guru and Krishna wants to give mercy. We have to first act in such a way. Then we can get the mercy. But we don't act in that way. We don't follow the instruction, but we want mercy. We want mercy. Give me mercy. Give me mercy. How can you ask? First, we have to earn that qualification. So that's this important instruction. We have to keep it in our heart and follow it through. So now the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining. We'll hear also the beautiful pastimes from King Kulasekara. Beautiful verses describing how the King Kulasekara is such an exalted person, one of the great alvars in Ramanu Sampradaya. But is Mukunda Mala Stotra, Prabhupada has translated 13 verses. There also we see beautiful verses on this, especially birth, death, old age, disease, and mrityu, how to conquer, how to take shelter. Very beautifully he has penned these verses in ecstasy. Now, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela we see in the case of Chaitanya Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Amoga in this case, where it is mentioned, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioning. Suni Krishna, Krishna Bali, Amoga Utila, Premonmade Matta Hana, Nachite Lagila. After hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and being touched by him, Amoga, who was on his deathbed, immediately stood up and began to chant the holy name of Krishna. Thus he became mad with ecstatic love and began to dance emotionally. But what he has done, great offensive act, when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya want to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his home with all the items what he likes, Mahaprabhu likes. And he started serving. But his brother-in-law is very crooked-minded. He didn't want anybody to come and eat. He wants to enjoy himself. He doesn't want anybody else to take away the wealth or the items, whatever cooked, everything. He only wants to enjoy, not anybody else. They couldn't tolerate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating the nice offerings. He was so much jealous and envious. This mentality bothered very much Sarvabhauma Bhatta. He said, "No, I don't want this kind of brother-in-law. We'll fast to die. We'll fast to death. We don't want. It's a great offense on our part. We invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then this we have committed in front of us. Then this cannot be tolerated. We will die. And we don't want to live anymore. We don't want this kind of brother-in-law." So then because of the mercy of Gopinath Acharya, such exalted, even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got the mercy because of Gopinath Acharya, who was a cousin, brother-in-law. So this is what is happening. Gopinath Acharya informed the Lord that both the husband and the wife were fasting, and that their son-in-law Amoga was dying of cholera because of this offensive attitude, crooked mentality in the heart, the way he acted. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that Amoga was going to die, he immediately ran to him in great haste, placing his hand on Amoga's chest. He spoke as follows. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy. How? Because Gopinath Acharya went and told him. He requested him. So, without devotee's mercy, it's very difficult to get the Lord's mercy. We need the confidential devotees, Krishna's own man. We need to serve and surrender and submit to the Krishna's own man. They are Nitya Siddhas. They are not like human beings. They are many times we think that spiritual man just like he has also eyes and hands and legs. He is also like maybe a great person. We don't pay attention much. Shastra is again and again repeating, Yasya Sakshat Bhagavati Gnana Deepe Bhasvate. They should be treated as good as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna directly also telling Uddhava, what is it? Aham Vijaniyam, na avamanyeta karisi. Acharya mam Vijaniyam. Acharya is bona fide devotee, bona fide spiritual master is directly is as good as me. Acharya mam Vijaniyam, na avamanyeta karisi. You cannot think him as ordinary human being. You cannot disrespect him. You cannot offend him. Krishna will never tolerate that kind of offensive attitude. That's why we have to be very careful, very attentive to the bona fide devotee, pure devotee of the Lord, such a caliber. It's Prabhupada. So, Mahabhagavats. Here, Gopinath, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, in this case, directly it's happening. His brother-in-law, this Amoga, was acted in a very arrogant way, a very offensive way. He immediately ran to him in great haste, placing his hand on Amoga's chest. He spoke as follows: the heart of a Brahmana is by nature very clean. Therefore, it is a proper place for Krishna to sit. Why have you allowed the Chandala of jealousy to sit here also? In this way, you have contaminated the most purified place, your heart. So that's why I have told many times that we should clean our place. We should keep things clean. Our nails should be cut. We should shave, or regularly we should hair should be cut. So we should be always clean, externally clean. We should keep our home clean. Especially when we come to temple, we should make sure the temple is clean. Wherever we are cooking, things are clean. Everything should be clean. We have to make sure after cleaning, we have to double check everything. So after festival, before festival, this is our duty. More we are inclined to clean, more we are in the goodness, then internally our consciousness will be in mode of goodness. More we keep things dirty, then more our consciousness is also dirty inside the heart. We don't pay. There is no attention inside the heart because of the dirtiness there in the mind, and externally also whatever you see dirtiness, chalta hai, sab chalta hai. Not needed, no priority to clean things at home or at wherever we are. We keep things dirty, then our heart is dirty too. So Prabhupada, that's why he made sure that he never wanted anybody to grow beards. He never wanted. He never liked that. So whatever you may be, Yogi ji, Baba ji, whatever, sannyasi, doesn't matter. He never liked any disciples to grow beard at all. Prabhupada is very strict because you have to follow some basic things, at least whatever Prabhupada instructed. Not somebody else. Somebody else, maybe it's all right because we don't have that adhikar. But the general principle of Prabhupada is for everybody should follow. So that's why here, but not only the jealousy. Jealousy is also inside heart's business. If externally we are not clean, then obviously these unwanted things also will be there. You cannot clean up these things. So jealousy is sitting in the heart of Amoga. Further, however, due to the association of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all your contamination is now vanquished. When a person's heart is cleaned of all contamination, he is able to chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna. So that's why it requires a lot of service. Submission and service is there. Then only we can clean. Otherwise, chanting will be done with so much offenses. So that's why we will not hear, why Prabhu so much, I am chanting 32 rounds, 64 rounds. There is no taste. This is why. Chanting with offenses. We are not doing service properly, are not doing enough service, are not with right consciousness. We are not offering the results back to Guru and Krishna. We are thinking that I am doing great. No, we have to depend on Guru and Krishna. Before service, we have to submit. After service, we have to submit back again. So this should be our attitude. Everything belongs to Guru and Krishna. What qualification we have? No qualification we have. Material qualification or spiritual qualification. We don't have. Are we qualified like Jayananda Prabhu? His life and soul is for Krishna and Guru only. Are we on that position? No, we are not on that position. So that's why we have to sincerely pray. It requires a lot of mercy to do service to Lord. This is utmost highest qualification. Don't take it lightly. Service to Guru and Krishna means it's the highest qualification. That means we have to be really beg Guru and Krishna, please give me the opportunity, and we should be grateful, and we have to submit. Always be in that submission position. Then we'll always be in the service, because Lord will make sure, because He's seeing the attitude. Then Lord will make sure that we are always in the service. Otherwise, we'll be taken away from service, guaranteed. However great leader we may be, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of service, we'll fall down, we'll be taken away from service. When we don't have this submissive attitude, that is guaranteed. So that is Lord Krishna is seeing what is there in our heart. He is able to chant the Maha Mantra. When a person's heart is cleansed of all contamination, he is able to chant the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna. Therefore, Amoga, get up and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. If you do so, Krishna will unfailingly bestow mercy upon you. This is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and especially Gopinath Acharya, so such an exalted devotee of the Lord, is so much attached to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why we can see in these verses, in these prayers, how much it is mentioned that by submitting to the pure devotee of the Lord, we can actually relieve from this birth, death, old age, disease, and attain spiritual body. Now we'll look at the beautiful prayers of King Kulasekara, starting with Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaj Pancharantam Advaitam Manas Rajahams Kantavarodana Vidano Smaranam Kutaste Kapavata Pittayas Kantavarodana Vidao Smaranam Kutaste. Is praying that now let my mind be absorbed when my body, mind, senses, everything is working. Let my mind be absorbed, like the swans are attached to the network of lotuses. So let my mind be and your attached to the lotus feet of your Lord, lotus feet of the Lord, and let me give up. So otherwise, because at the time of death, kapavata pitta, my throat is choked up, my ears can't hear, so none of my senses will work. So smaranam kutase, but now I can remember you, because everything, all the senses are working. Let me leave now. That was his prayer. Now, further beautiful prayers are there. These are to hear just. भवजलधि गुणानां भवजलधि गतानां द्वन्द्ववाताहतानां सुत दुहित्र कलत्र त्राण बारार्दितानां विषम विषयतये मज्जताम अप्लवानां भवति शरणम एको विष्णुपोतो नराणां. The people in this vast ocean of birth and death are being blown away about by the winds of the material dualities, as they flounder in the perilous waters of the sense indulgence, with no boat to help them. They are sorely distressed by the need to protect their sons, daughters, and wives. Only the boat, that is Lord Vishnu, can save them. So, very important point, because who is the boat? Especially when we are in the ocean. This material world is birth, death, old age is the ocean. That is always compared to the ocean of birth and death. So how in the ocean can anyone save? Unless you have a strong boat and we have a strong captain for a boat. Otherwise, even whatever Titanic or whatever, everything can be collapsed. So you need a strong captain. Who is that? That is the spiritual master. And the boat he is always carrying. For him, he doesn't need a boat. He will take you across, and then he doesn't need a boat. So, but for conditioned souls, he is leaving the boat on this side, so that on the material world side, so that we can take the boat onto the other side. It is like calf's hoof print. So we can cross over this ocean, so vast, so long, but we can cross in fraction of seconds. We can be in the spiritual world that fast by taking the shelter of the Lord Vishnu and his spiritual master. We are seeing in this verse, this next verse is also beautiful. Srinath Narayana Vasudeva Sri Krishna Bhakta Priya Chakrapani Sri Padmanabha Chuta Kaitavare Sri Rama Padmaksha Hare Murare Ananta Vaikunta Mukunda Krishna Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Vaktum Samadhopi Na Vakti Kaschat Aho Jananam Vyasanavi Mukyam. Oh Srinath, oh Srinath, Narayana, Vasudeva, divine Krishna, oh kind friend of your devotees. O Chakrapani, Padmanabha, Achyuta, Kaitavari, Rama, Padmaksha, Hari, Murari, O Ananta, Vaikunta, Mukunda, Krishna, Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. Although all people can address you, still they remain silent. Just see how eager they are for their own peril. This is mentioning here that everybody is calling, but they are not. They don't want you. They want their own benefits. They don't want you. They don't want Krishna's pleasure. They don't want Guru and Krishna's pleasure. They want their own merits. They want their own benefits. So that's what is calling out for that. Just see how eager they are for their own peril. Further, this is also beautiful verse. भक्तापाय भुजंग गरुड़ मणि त्रैलोक्य रक्षामणि गोपी लोचन चाटकाम अंबुद मणि सौंदर्य मुद्रामणि कांतामणि रुक्मिणी गण कुच द्वंद्वैक भूषामणि श्रेय श्रेय देव शिखामणि दिशतु na gopala chudamani. This is a beautiful prayer. It's very difficult, this light I'm not able to see. He is the jewel riding on the back of Garuda, who carries away the Lord's devotees on his wings. He is the magic jewel protecting the three worlds, the jewel like cloud attracting the Chataka bird eyes of the gopis, and the jewel among all who gesture gracefully. He is the only jeweled ornament on the ample breast of Queen Rukmini, who is herself the jewel of beloved consort. May the crown jewel of all gods, the best of the cohorts, grant us the supreme benediction. What does it mean? The jewel, it means that when the jewel is in the center, like Satrajit example is given here, King Kulasekara is thinking, when Satrajit thought that this jewel belongs to me, when Krishna asked, he didn't give. He thought, let me keep that because it's going to produce so much gold. We are always thinking like that. We want to keep everything else in the center, minus Krishna. Krishna is the jewel. Everything belongs to him. When we keep Krishna in the center, then our life will be like a jewel. It will be perfect. We will attain the perfection. But if we keep anything else in the center, that everything belongs to us thinking, then it will be like Satrajit. What Satrajit had to go through. So much he had to go through because of disobeying the orders of Krishna. He thought, who can hold jewel or anything? Everything belongs to Krishna. So he can hold, but we can't hold any of that. So Satrajit had to get great difficulties. So that's why here the jewel comparison is given. That when Krishna is in the center, then will become shine like a jewel. If not, then we'll have to pass many lives in many different bodies. So that will be our problem to deal with. So that's why we have to be very very careful how we should take. Krishno rakshatu na jagattraya guru krishnam namadvam sada krishne na akila satravo vimihata krishnaya tasmai namah कृष्णादेव समुदितं जगत् इदं कृष्णस्य दासो अस्मि अहं कृष्णे तिष्ठति विश्वम् एतद् अखिलं हे कृष्ण रक्षस्य माम्. Make Krishna the spiritual master of the three worlds. As I mentioned before also, that nobody wants to become a guru. Everybody wants to become a disciple. All the way up to Srimad Radharani. That's how Lord Krishna is the Jagat Guru. Even though Vyasdev, even though Brahma, even though Srila Prabhupada, all our spiritual masters, Acharya Parampara, everybody is thinking, they are sitting on Vyasasana, but they are not thinking. When we are chanting Sri Guru Charana Padma, they are also chanting Sri Guru Charana. For who? For their spiritual master. They are offering it to previous spiritual master. This is going all the way up to Srimad Radharani. She is also thinking that Krishna is the only master, is the only Jagat Guru. She is offering to Krishna. But Krishna is saying, I am not independent, I am controlled by my devotees. So this is see that mutual. So this is the best process. Inconceivable. That's why it is inconceivable. The rasa is so intense, so deep. That is very difficult to understand this Guru Tattva. It's not easy. As here it's mentioned. May Krishna, the spiritual master of the three worlds, protect us. Continually bow down to Krishna. Krishna has killed all our enemies. Obeisances to Krishna. From Krishna alone, this world has come into being. I am the servant of Krishna. This entire universe rests within Krishna. Oh Krishna, please protect me. This is completely taking shelter King Kulashekara is praying that let me always take shelter. Everything, whatever offering obeisance, whatever I am doing, it's only for your pleasure. You are my only master, life after life. Whatever you may want to do, you do. I am your puppet. Mm, Dance, I will dance as you wish. So that is the submission here we see from King Kulashekara. हे गोपालक हे कृपा जल निधे हे सिंधु कन्यपाते हे कंसांतक हे गजेंद्र करुणा परीणा हे माधव हे रामानुज हे जगत्त्रय गुरो हे पुंडरीकाक्ष माम हे गोपी जननाद पालय परम जनामि ना त्वं विना. Beautiful verse. This is all beautiful, very beautiful verse. O young cohort boy, O ocean of mercy, O husband of Lakshmi, the ocean's daughter, O killer of Kamsa, O merciful benefactor of Gajendra, O Madhava, O younger brother of Rama, O spiritual master of the three worlds, O lotus-eyed lord of the gopis, I know no one greater than you. Please protect me. So he's addressing all of them. Killer of Kamsa, different names, is always calling out that you are the only shelter. Please protect me. So you have protected all of them, the cohort boys and all of them you protected. But so think that I am also your servant. Please protect me. Also, is taking their shelter because when Krishna hears his pure devotees' names, immediately Lord Krishna, his mind gets captured immediately right away. So that's why we take shelter of the Lord Krishna's own man, own representatives. So I think that is the last verse I chanted. I think, yeah, that is the last verse of King Kulashekar. Many verses are there, but these are the prominent verses. You can understand how important it is to actually sincerely take shelter of these great acharyas, great devotees' prayers. In that mood, we have to observe the mood and consciousness in which they are praying. So by that we can actually attain that consciousness, develop that consciousness, develop these qualities by observing, by practicing, by sincerely praying, and by sincerely submissively serving, and then submissively chanting and hearing, and then automatically we'll remember. Krishna he will make us remember. The spiritual masters will make us remember by seeing our attitude, our consciousness, our absorption. So that is what is needed from us. That's what we are learning from this today's verse, that how we can attain the fame, how we can attain the beauty, opulence, everything we can attain. When Krishna, the jewel the jewel of the whole world, Lord Krishna and his representative, Sikamani, they are the money, they are the jewels. Krishna's jewel. Krishna is jewel. Krishna's jewels are Srimad Radharani, the gopis. Today being Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami is Ananga Manjari / Guna Manjari. Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. They are all Manjaris. They are directly serving Lalita and Vishaka. And so Prabhupada, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur is also so one of the Manjari. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is also Manjari. So by taking shelter of these great acharyas, praying sincerely, especially Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Sri Radhika Raman was, how did it appear? It is purely by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami prayed sincerely. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because first of all, Gopal Bhatta Goswami served at childhood when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally there, massaged his lotus feet, washed his clothes, and cleaned his vessels, and he was so much attached, so much absorbed. He's always thinking that remembrance is there, his lotus feet, his service, is always, his whole life he was thinking that what he has done in childhood. That's why when we are young, when we do service, then we can have that remembrance much deep and deep. So more we become older and older, it becomes our mind and senses are not absorbed. We have so many things going on. So that's how. Then gradually, then everybody disappeared. Everybody left the planet. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in a dream and told many devotees, Srinivas Acharya, Jiva Goswami, Gopal, but everybody has a different dreams. All three of them had different dreams. Lord appeared and told. Rupa Goswami is always guiding. Then Rupa Goswami has been instructed that when they come, when especially when Gopal Bhatta Goswami comes, instruct him so that way. He saw Gopal Bhatta Goswami came and he took shelter. He learned from Rupa Goswami. Then Radha Govind Dev deity personally used to worship the deity Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Then Rupa Goswami instructed. Now Lord's desire is for you to separately worship. So you can do that by that sincere prayer. Then immediately the Saligram Shila, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed. This he has instructed in the beginning. This Saligram Silpa, you worship him as Lord Hari. Then he was taking that instruction. What does it mean? What does it mean? He was contemplating. Then Rupa Goswami told. So that you worship the Radha Govind Dev. So then separately, that is the Lord's desire. Then he started worshipping him with intensely absorption. Then Lord himself revealed next day morning that Shila became Radha Raman, beautiful deity of the face as Radha Govind Dev, just as Radha Gopinath and the lotus feet is Sri Radha Madan Mohan. Three deities appeared in one Murti. Sri Radha Raman, beautiful deity appeared. And then at the same time, then when that appearance, this is the next day after Narasimha Chaturdashi, this installation has happened. So then the Srinivas Acharya was being told in a dream by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you go and meet Jiva Goswami, then you take shelter of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He was crying. Tears were coming down because everybody left. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, and Nityananda, many associates left already. Six Goswami is also not there. Then he had to go to Vrindavan. Then he has been told, go and reach Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami has been told, this is how Srinivas Acharya appears. He has this mood, he has this confidence. This is how much height. This is how he looks. And this intensity is there. All that symptoms, qualification, everything Lord mentions to Jiva Goswami. So then they meet, Jiva Goswami gives, understands, and they meet, both of them meet, and then he takes Srinivas Acharya with him and then meets him with Gopal Bhatta Goswami and instruct him. Then Rupa Goswami also tells that you give shelter to Jiva Goswami tells also. Then Gopal Bhatta Goswami initiates Srinivas Acharya and gives the service. So Srinivas Acharya is one of the famous disciples of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Srinivas Acharya has been given to serve Sri Radha Raman deity later on. Now also it's going on. Radha Raman deity, one of the seven main temples of Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Sri Radha Govinda Dev, Radha Gopinath, Sri Radha Raman, and Sri Radha Damodar of Jiva Goswami. Then you have Radha Gokulananda by Lokanath Goswami. There itself you have 3 plus 5, 6, and Radha Samsundar of I think Madhu Pandit or Saman Pandit. So it's total 7 temples. These 7 temples are the most prominent. Prabhupada specifically mentioned every day they visit these 7 temples. So many temples are there, but these 7 temples are the mandatory. Whenever we go, we should visit first, and then we take Gopeswar Mahadev. Then we go to Giriraj Govardhan Parikrama. That's how we do the Vrindavan Parikrama in the association of devotees. We'll stop here. Any questions anyone has, you can ask. If not, we'll stop here. Any questions? Yeah, the question is that how Ashwadhama is Chiranjeevi. Yes, there are many like that. Even Bali Maharaj is going to become Indra also. There are certain things, but it's again for all of them. Obviously, different levels of purification is there. So, as per my understanding, most of these Chiranjeevis they take some position in the next, but it's not that after Brahma's life is over, then they go back. Like Dhruva Maharaj also. Dhruva Maharaj already attained the spiritual perfection as in Dhruva planet, but he will also go back to the spiritual world when Brahma's life is over. Right now, 51st year is going on, 51st day or 51st year is going, 100 years, Ditya Parardha is going on. So when Brahma's 100 years is over, then Dhruva Maharaj goes back same way. So most of them, like Bali Maharaj, is going to become next one, Indra. I think, if I remember correctly. So then again, Bali Maharaj will go back also after Brahma's lifetime is over, or his Indra's that position ruling that one mantra, 1,000 yuga cycle. That time is over, then I think he'll go back. So Ashwatthama also, I'll have to see if there is anywhere it is mentioned. So for him also, because when he has taken anybody who when they done some sinful activities, then they get punishment immediately, and a devotee gives shelter. If he also, just like Daksha Prajapati, has understood his defect, understood his problem, he has taken shelter. But still there was lingering, still some envious, some attitude is still there. So that's why he was saved. First, initially, Lord Shiva was compassionately, he saved him. gave good head and everything. But still, that still thing is there. So that's again he has to appear. He appeared next time as son of this Prachetas given in marriage to one of the Pramlochana Apsara's daughter Marisa. Then from their union, born Daksha again, born. Because still that some proclivities inside heart, still some things are there. Then he produced this 10,000 and 10,000 Haryas Vasalya. Then he went on expertly produced. Then he performed austerities also, Amsabhushya prayers. All these things are there. So like that, especially here, Ashwadhama has been given punishment by Arjuna also, and if he has been taken shelter of a devotee of the Lord, then he will be also. I'm sure he must have taken. If he is Chiranjeevi, if he has taken, then he will go back to Godhead. Either after his this Brahma's life, most likely this Brahma's life is over, then they will go back to Godhead. Just like even Narada Muni's case also, when he was associated with Bhakti Vedantis, then when Lord Krishna appeared in front of him, then he told at the end of Brahma's life, then he will come back to me and then he will become Narada Muni, pure devotee of the Lord. You will attain me, you will come to me. So you have to wait until that point. He just got instigated to intensify his rasa. Kama, sarva kama, moksha kama, udara, tivrena bhakti yoga. Tivrena, the intensity increased because he saw Lord Krishna, he heard Lord Krishna's voice and he disappeared fraction of seconds. So to intensify is, and then you will not see me, you will not hear me again until many years, until this Brahma's life is over. That's when you will come to me. So that's what happened. So it depends. Most of the cases, that's how it is like that. It is not immediate. It is the end of the life of Brahma, and then they will go back. In some cases, it is immediate. They'll attain. General, most of the cases, they have to go back to the planet where Lord Krishna is performing pastime. They will get trained there. What position, what rasa, all the training is given. Then they will enter into the spiritual world. That's how generally it is. But in some cases, exception cases, they may be directly going to, if they are already been trained, they have been attained their spiritual body, they have been trained, or then they will enter into the spiritual world directly without waiting till Brahma's life is over. So that's what, based on what I read and what I heard. Okay, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu, forgive me. So
Yeah,
Prabhu, I'm little bit, you already sent it, little bit confused that which link I can send them.
which link? Which link for what?
Tomorrow's class.
Tomorrow, Saturday's class is different. Saturday class is a, see, morning class Zoom link is different. It starts with 8 to 4, morning Bhagavatam class. Evening class is always a Friday and daily Krishna book class at 8:30 has the same link, same 849 start with. Saturday new batch Zoom link is different. It's 859. Look at the Zoom code. It starts with 859. It's a different code because it's a different batch, so that less confusion. So it's not same Zoom code. It's a different Zoom code. It is there.
Yes, but
Message.
that is the same. You sent me that this your WhatsApp also, Prabhu, but
Yes.
little
Yes.
confused.
Yeah. I'll
Can
message
you?
you again. Yeah, I'll message you again. Okay. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.